Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see the Kris Jenner transformation?
So good.
Isn't it?
I love that she was honest about who did her surgery too. I think that's like celebrities need to start being honest. Do you hear that Lindsay Lohan told everybody she didn't have anything done? Like, Lindsay Lohan looks amazing. She had clearly something done, but she won't talk.
I mean, she's been on in the spotlight since she was like, what, 10? When did Parent Trap come out? You know, you can't really lie about it when you've been around that long. Speaking of the plastic surgery, you're very open about this, and you talked about getting your implants taken out. Can you kind of go over that, and then we'll circle into like your career?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I love sharing this. It's super important, and it was a really crazy experience. So I had them in for a total of 15 years, and I was told, you know, swap them out in 10 to 15 years. But I was like, well, I'm gonna get my money's worth, so I kept them in. I was gonna go the full 15, and around 13 years of having them, I started getting sick a lot. Different things like back-to-back sinus infections, brain fog. Like I was popping Adderall like crazy. I was lethargic. I was tired. I was weak. When I got to 14 years of having them, the migraines kicked in hardcore, and I had a migraine like 5 or 6 days a week. So,
oh my God.
I mean, it was scary. It was to the point where I was like, if I can't figure this out, like I can't live like this. I had to close my school. I had to close my studio. I was canceling on clients left and right because I would wake up with a migraine, and the last thing I want to do is tattoo somebody, especially SMP. Poking thousands of dots in someone's head with a migraine is like not okay. You know, you fill out paperwork when you go to the doctor, like, have you had any surgeries? So all of them had paperwork of me saying, yes, I've had breast implants, you know, but not a single one of them ever considered like, well, hey, maybe it's your boobs. I saw you had these put in 2009, you know. You go to all these different doctors, and they're trained to do one type of thing. Like they're trained to look at your brain health or your, you know, your bones or your whatever their specialty is. That's what they're looking at. So it's hard for people to like see the whole picture. And then finally one of my girlfriends was like, how old are your boobs?
How old are your boobs?
And it just dawned on me. I was like, well, they are kind of old, and you know, it's a foreign object in my body. And they were saline, they weren't silicone. So a lot of people know about silicone poisoning, but people don't realize that the saline ones, the bag itself that the saline is in is still made out of silicone. So you may not have like loose silicone from like a rupture like you could with the other kind, but you still have a silicone object in your body that is then filled with saline. I was like, you know what? I do a bunch of yoga now and Pilates, and like I'm kind of sick of these boobs anyway. So I'm gonna take them out and we'll see what happens. And literally 48 hours later, the migraines were gone completely, like completely gone. You know, I'm happy and healthy again, and I love sharing that story. A lot of people like I talk to, there's people who had them in for 20 years and they're like, well, I'm fine, I'm not sick. And I'm like, but are you though? Like, I feel like you are kind of sick a lot. You know, like they don't put 2 and 2 together.
Does it cost money to get them taken out?
Oh my God, so much money. Yes.
You get them taken out?
$13,000 and
to remove them?
To get them taken out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's gotta be more than the actual cost to put them in.
You know, it was expensive to take them out. There's some doctors that will take insurance, but I just wasn't willing to even deal with that. I was like, just get these fucking things out of me, you know?
Well, thank you for sharing that. There's I mean, I'm sure that there's so many different levels of mental pain you dealt with doing that as well on top of it, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
they became a part of my identity. And also the healing is really crazy. Like they look super deformed when they first come out, and they can take up to a year to like, they call it fluffing, to like look like boobs again. Like they look like these deflated things. It's definitely a mental challenge, you know, as far as like your confidence, finding clothes again that fit you.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, ladies. If you're listening, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you got to do what's healthy and safe for you.